Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our Unit 1, Chapter 1, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. It's of class 9, everyone knows. So let's start. Well, what do you think about how I taught my grandmother to read? It simply means that someone is teaching his or her grandmother to read, right? So let's start and see what's there in the chapter. For the setting for this chapter, I need to tell you about the characters also. So, first of all, it's the story actually a real story. In the village of the North Karnataka in the 1960s, not this current year. The narrator is a 12-year-old girl, as also a future CS teacher. I think everybody knows her. She's Sudha Murthy. And this story belongs to her grandmother, right? Her grandmother is Krishnatakka. In Karnataka, the grandmother is called Ava. At the age of 62, she is the one who wanted to study. And also, she never attended the school. And Triveni, she is a character and also a beloved Kannada author of Kashi Yatra. Then the comes central themes. All the things revolve around literacy and education, independence through the ability to read. Determination has no age limit. Grandmother learns Kannada at the age of 62. Intergenerational bond between narrator and her grandmother. Narrator becomes Ava's first teacher, and Ava was narrator's first student. Respect for teachers, Ava touches narrator's feet as good. So let's start. Before we look into our chapter, firstly we need to know some of the important words. So, first of all, it's protagonist, means the main character in any of your stories. Debate is a discussion, episode is a part of story, community is the people living in a particular area. Concentration, also called focus. Like when we study with our concentration and focus, right? Eagerly, excitedly, convincing, believable means when you convince your parents for a new cycle because your old cycle is not working nicely. So you have to convince them to buy you a new one, right? Guided is directed because teachers guide you, they direct you towards your goal. First of all, we need to start with our story summary, right? Narrator, who is Sudhamurthy, right, at the age of 12, lives with grandparents in the North Karnataka village. Transport is poor, and the morning newspapers arrives in the afternoon, and magazines are daily. Means it's 1960s, you all know. Triveni's serial Kashi Yatra runs in the Karnataka weekly Karamveera, story of an old lady who sacrifices her Kashi pilgrimage savings to fund an orphan girl's wedding. Right. Grandmother Krishnataka, also called Ava. Ava is what? Ava is grandmother in the Kannada language. Never went to school. Every Wednesday, the narrator reads the latest episode to Ava. Ava listens intensely and mesmerizes the whole text. Means she's very interested in the story. And she was a very kind and caregiving person in the whole village, and they have a nice name around the area. So she never went to school, but she has an wish to learn, read, mesmerize, and it's very interesting for her to learn or tell the stories to the neighbors, right? Narrator goes to a wedding in the neighboring village for a week. When she returns, she finds Ava couldn't read the latest episode of Kashi Yatre. When the narrator returns after the wedding, Ava finds that she couldn't read in the meantime. So, on the moonlit terrace, Ava confides that she felt helpless and embarrassed to ask others to read. She says, "We are well off, but what is the use of money when I cannot be independent?" Ava, everyone knows that Ava has a very great name in her whole village. So, but, but the thing is that Ava couldn't read, and that's the problem because when the narrator was away, the same Kashiyatri serial came, but she couldn't read. And she also felt embarrassed because she didn't want to ruin her name in the village. And also said to her granddaughter, "We are well off, but the use of money cannot be done for my independence." Ava decides to learn Kannada alphabet, setting Saraswati Puja as her deadline. She aims to read the novel independently. The narrator initially laughs, but Ava replies, "For learning, there is no age bar." So, if you understand this, it's a way like Ava has decided to learn the Kannada alphabet at any cost. And as we know, when we have to do something, we make a deadline. So she made Saraswati Puja, also called Dussehra, as the deadline. She aims to read the novel independently by that time. The narrator initially laughs because she was just 12-year old. How can she easily believe that her grandmother will learn the Kannada alphabet at the age of 62? But Ava was confident that she wanted to learn at any cost. For learning, there is no age bar. We all know this line, it's too famous, right? Tuition begins the next day. Ava is an exceptional student. She reads, repeats, writes, and recites daily. The narrator is her only teacher. She was narrator's first ever student. As I have told you that she was, she, Krishna Takka was the first student of Sudhamurti. It means her grandmother. And the grandmother's only teacher was her granddaughter. Ava was a very brilliant and bright student. She is obedient. She reads, writes, learns, right? And she don't, you know, get distracted easily. On the Shara, the narrator secretly gifts Ava a copy of Kashi Yatre, now published whole as a novel, not in the episodes. The narrator, we all know that the narrator is a 12-year-old girl, and on the Shara, as her grandmother has learned the Kannada alphabet, she wanted her grandmother to be happy to read the Kashi Yatra novel all by herself. So the grandmother touches the narrator's feet as a teacher Have we seen any elder person touching feet of the age of ours? No. Who will touch our feet? We are just students right now. But she chooses to touch her feet as a teacher because teacher needs to be respected at any forms. Now, as they touches each other's feet, she, who is she? Grandmother, Ava Krishnaka. She reads the title aloud. What was the title? Kashi Yatra, proving she has passed